So let's get right into this.
All right.
So we mentioned at the beginning of the show we had some kind of announcements we wanted to make, and whenever Linux Action Show makes announcements, it has a tendency to change the entire world. As you may remember, Linux Action Show has been around for about 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
And in that time, we've changed everything.
Yeah, we've changed a lot of stuff around.
We've brought some amazing people into the Linux world. We've it is not necessarily because of us. It's because of us being awesome, and that's really the key.
Good point. That's a good point, Brian.
So it's a good point. Yeah, it's more about the awesome of us than us ourselves. But what we want to do is we want to try and connect to more Linux users. As it is right now, a lot of new users come to Linux. They find the Linux Action Show, or they see some of our other shows like Beer is Tasty, and they're like, hey, those guys are cool.
Right.
Then they listen to Linux Action Show, get a little excited, and give it a try.
Yeah.
That's great, and it helps, but it's not big enough. We are the Linux Action Show. We want to be bigger.
Yeah.
We want to really show people what can be done and how it's awesome on Linux.
And I just want to be clear, the show has been crazy successful. The numbers we pull in are on par with some of the bigger, more familiar names in podcasting, and we're so grateful out there. So starting with the next season, we're gonna completely change it, and it's kind of a risky move for us.
It's a highly risky move for us. In the last 2.5 years, I mean, it's going to get close to 3 years before too long. We've built up an amazing listeners set of fans. I mean, you guys are awesome, absolutely awesome.
The thing is we have to reach out to a larger audience. For two main reasons that just for us personally is one. At a certain point, we're going to reach as many people as we can reach through this medium. And then the second point is it's gotten to the point now where we want to grow and try something new and do something that's going to be a little different. Now, a lot of people that are listening are not going to like this.
No. I think a lot of people are going to love it once they get used to it. I think a lot of people are going to love it right off the bat, but I think there's going to be at least a significant handful that are going to be like, oh my God, and they're going to try and find us and burn our homes down.
All right, so let's just say what we're doing.
Let's just say, all right, so starting with Season 10, basically starting after Season 9, Linux Action Show, in its present form, is going away.
Yeah.
And is going to be replaced with a more consistent show available online in video clip form on YouTube.
Right. It's going to be just shorter but more frequent.
And with very specific topics.
That's the thing.
And there's multiple reasons for this. The first is we want to reach as many people about how awesome Linux is as possible, right?
Millions of people on YouTube.
If we have a review of how we can do some amazing things with Compiz, and we have one of the Compiz developers on, we talk about all sorts of stuff, that's great, and we all love talking about that stuff. But what we really want to do is we want to talk about it to both us, and we want to expose the pure excitement level to everyone else. Where's a great place? YouTube.
And the thing is,
10-minute or less video to do it.
Yep, and we're going to do research on the way to do screen grabs, so when we talk about this stuff, we can show it to people, we can give them visuals of what we're talking about, and hopefully, through the viral nature of YouTube, we'll go from hundreds of thousands of people to millions of people.
It's worth a shot. And it gets a... In addition, what would also be really nice is if you think back, for those of you who have been with us since the beginning, we've had some very cool interviews. Kevin Carmody from Linspire was on a long time ago.
Shuttleworth.
And Shuttleworth, CEO of Canonical, was on. Absolutely, just some great interviews with people from the KDE project, from Fedora, all different projects. And those are very difficult to find. There have even been projects of some listeners where they try to organize a wiki so that people can have some idea of how to find all the information.
With the minutes that we did it in and stuff like that, yeah.
It's a real pain in the butt, though. So what we're looking at now is if we do an interview, if we have someone like Shuttleworth on the show, it'll be in a singular interview up on YouTube. You type in Linux Action Show Shuttleworth.
You get just what you're looking for.
Shuttleworth, boom. You get that video. And so it's much easier to reference going forward.
And the reality is that after Google, YouTube has now become the #2 search engine.
That's
How
crazy.
wild is that? So
huge.
We're hoping if we leverage that, if somebody wants to find out about Compiz, somebody wants to see a specific review of the Android T-Mobile G1 phone, somebody wants to see an interview with Mark Shuttleworth, they'll go to one spot, and they'll be able to find just that really dialed in, direct, specific stuff.
Exactly.
Now, that doesn't mean we won't necessarily eventually find a way to release an audio version of those YouTube clips.
No.
But there's also some other key aspects about this change, and the fact of the matter is that we're going to be able to respond to things a lot quicker. It's basically going to be Bryan and I. We fire up Skype, we record, we publish, and if something happens that day, we can get a video out that night of it, so people can stay extremely current. But the thing that lets Bryan and I do is it kind of lets us get a little bit of our lives back to an extent. To
a certain point,
Bryan,
we're still going to be life,less.
Yeah, you mentioned how much you're
here.
working, and my wife has a child on the way, so we're looking at things and we're going, we need to prioritize a little bit, but we don't want to stop what we're doing, and so this lets us.
The work's important. We got to keep doing it.
And if we do these dialed in specific casts, what that means is instead of preparing for a show for 2 hours, getting all the topics, getting the hosts together, getting everything like that, we just literally fire up a Skype connection wherever we're at, and we record it and we talk about it. And since we're only talking about maybe one particular subject or maybe 2 or 3 particular subjects, we can really get it going fast. We don't have to do that 2-hour prep. So there's 2-hour prep, 2-hour record, 2-hour edit, 2-hour post. That's a lot of your time, and so we're hoping we can streamline and continue to produce something very, very dialed in, very, very accurate, and very high quality.
Exactly. And so I think it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So we'll have short, easily searchable, content-driven clips from the guys at the Linux Action Show about Linux and related topics. And we should be able to hit a lot of people. It's very exciting. I'm actually very, very excited for it. It's a big change for us. I mean, this is what we've been doing for quite some time.
We're going to finish this season out, so we'll have a complete season. But and we're going to start posting some stuff up on YouTube before then at youtube.com/Jupiter Broadcasting, and we're going to transition to that. And eventually we'll work in ways to do the live streaming. People seem to have really responded well to that. And
it's a lot of fun.
I think it's going to be great. And then we'll continue to produce the Linux Action Show traditional format for the remainder of season 9.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm pumped, actually. This is going to be good. It's going to be very good. It's a big change. So for those of you who have a hard time with change, take a Valium. Do your best.
Well, we're not going anywhere. We're
not going anywhere.
We're just going to be more frequent, but a little more focused now.
Yeah, JupiterBroadcasting.com is still sticking around, and we're still Bryan and Chris, same old guys. Just a little bit of new excitement, a little bit of the new hotness.